Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us tonight. This is the Friday edition of the show. It's the last one for the week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Tonight on the show, we'll be looking at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. We're looking at the chances of the Flying Eagles. And, of course, we'll be looking at the Super Six. That's also going to be going down over the weekend. Then, of course, the big one in England, the FA Cup. It's a Manchester derby. Of course, the two sides, the blue and the red of Manchester, going at each other again. That's the outlook of the show. As you know, it's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Okona-Akpan, suited and ready as we take this trip together.
Sport greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, everyone joining us from the different parts of the world. Still an action-packed all those sports. Yes, we're getting ready for that crucial quarterfinal fixture between the Flying Eagles of Nigeria and South Korea. Tricky fixture, Yemi, but look, we've seen stranger things happen at this FIFA Under-20 World Cup, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed and see what football will give us out of that one. Of course, the Super Six is here.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it. But first, let's bring in our guest from the Lagos studio. Let's do that quickly. And, of course, Shegun Vincent joins us now. Greetings to you, Shegun. A lot to talk about, but first, it's good to do this with you again.
It's good to be back, and I also said, like, you know, you were greeting Austin, and you suited them. I'm also suited them. You also suited them. So let's go straight
into it. All right. So let's dive straight into all that we have for you. Let's look at the playoffs. That's what we call it. What will determine who emerges as the champion of the Nigeria Professional Football League this bridge season, and it's going to be through the Super Six. Let's take a look at the fixtures. It's spread evenly, and we're going to be seeing what's going to happen. The draws have been made, and of course the fixtures. Of course, we'll let you look at that fixtures, and you'll be seeing day 1, day 2, and day 3. All right, so let me just quickly run through pictures you have on screen. Of course, when the draws were made, but I want to quickly run through day 1 fixtures for you. Of course, this weekend it's going to go down. The Aba Elephants, Eyimba, up against. These days we don't call them surprise anymore, but of course they're in there now. Remo Stars. So they're there. Sunshine Stars will be up against Rivers United. Bendel Insurance will be up against Lobby Stars. All of these are day 1 fixtures for you. Let's flip quickly and take a look at day 2 fixtures. You have Lobby Stars up against Eyimba, Rivers United up against Remo Stars, Bendel Insurance up against Sunshine Stars. So these are the fixtures. All right, before we listen to the critical stakeholders, it's going to be very interesting to listen to what we have to say right here in the studio. Shegun, you're going to get the first bite of the apple. I mean, you look at day 1, day 2. Before we start saying that this person might win that, but you'll have to see the fix. You know, you have to see maybe a result or two. But looking at day 1, what are the things you're expecting?
You look at the game, Eyimba and Remo Stars. You look at Sunshine Stars and Rivers United. You look at Bendel Insurance and Lobby Stars. We'll talk about the game between Eyimba and Lobby Stars. The last time that this the playoffs were played is, I think, 2019. 2018. I think 2019. Last time Eyimba won this week. I think there were more games then as compared to now. Now each team is playing 2 games. Knowing that Eyimba are a powerhouse, you know, they know how to win these games. They know how to create performances like this. They know how to create a trademark for themselves, and understand the fact that they're like the Real Madrid of the NPFL. When it comes to things like this, they know how to create the country time, the fans, they have great history, they have the experience, the weight of experience to play in these competitions. So on paper, when people say, oh, Eyimba are one of the very big favorites, and it's not a far cry for them to say that they are big favorites, knowing that they know how to play such competitions, they know how to play, they know how to do things in the right moment. So I feel like Eyimba are one of the tough opponents to play inside. Now look at their features against Remo United. I think times or so. Eyimba have won 4 times, they've drawn 4 times, they lost twice against Remo United, Remo Stars, I beg your pardon. And Remo Stars are a team with the uprising, private ownership, a lot of funds to go around, you know, well-managed, well-structured class compared to Eyimba, which is a state-owned club. But these are the dynamics that we get. Remo Stars have been on the rising. I think they play on the African continental stage, so they're getting the experience. Of course, they're just just trying to grow. They will have their ups and downs, just like a child. You know, a child tries to walk. You know, they're going to fall down. And another that they're going to fall, but they're getting there slowly and slowly and slowly. So at some point in time, they will have to break even. And what a time to break even. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. And then what a way to start than to give Enyimba a run for their money. And it's going to be a festive fixture. It's going to be it's going to be a very strong fixture. It's going to be like that, the Man City game. We're going to have two strong teams wanting to go for the result and go all out against everything they can. So I believe that that's a wonderful result. You look at the Sunshine Stars against Rivers United. They left recently out of the contender stage against the team that we thought that they would have defeated on paper. You know, me and you were discussing the issue the other day. So I believe that and the Sunshine Stars too, they're no minors. You know, they are big here and there. Although they had a funny run of results towards the end of the NPFL season. So I believe that this feature is also a very quote unquote a very skanky, very going to be a funny affair. Rivers United have to show that they, you know, of course they've been making their names. They have been up and running with Enyimba. No, of course Enyimba is bigger side. You know, more trophies, more championships. So Rivers United also they have some. You know, they are
increasing in stature. It must be said.
And they're getting here too slowly. They're getting here. They're not slowly. I think they're almost a powerhouse in the NPFL. So I believe this is another feature that we're going to look at.
And the last one quickly.
And Benden Insurance, you know, they're the surprise package of the season. Nobody expected to top the table. You know, they went unbeaten throughout the league. Although they had some draws, you know, more like relegation form, but they showed for class. Even in those draws, they came back from a goal down, maybe 2 goals down, and they still came back up. So that showed that they are still having that firepower, you know, that energy, consistency, which is very important in any football team. Consistency, pushing that result week in, week out, winning when it's necessary, winning when it's necessary, winning when it's also difficult. That's what Venezuela have shown. And I believe that they should be able to take Lobby Stars for the money. And I believe that Venezuela should come out strong in that fixture.
All right, let's go to the man who always talks about oddity. Austin, of course, the draws have pitted this team against themselves, and you know, it's difficult. Like I said, when I told Shegu, it's difficult to start talking about who will win, who will do this until we see the first game. But with what you've seen in their bridge season, going into the Super Six, and now you like again, like you always say, you snooze, you lose. What do you think will happen in those day one fixtures?
One thing for sure is that it's going to be very tight because their bridge season was so competitive. There's not one team, no one out of the 6 teams that made it to the Super Six that didn't fight to earn a place at that table. So it's going to be very tight. It's going to be very competitive. And what a way to start it off. Enyimba taking on Remo Stars, you know. And look, fans of Enyimba kept saying, what is the Super Six without Enyimba? And truly, they're correct. What's it going to be like if Enyimba wasn't there, you know? And with their Bridge League season, somehow they knew when to pick up victories, either away or in Aba, to make sure that they make it to this point. So it's a good test for Remo Stars because Remo Stars also fought their way till the final day to make it to the Super Six. And this is a team that is playing to say thank you to the management for the things that they're doing. And it will be interesting to see them keep that consistency. They played on the continent last season. They loved the experience. They would like to do it again, you know. So let's see what they can give against Enyimba, a team that is also built for competitions, a team that knows, you know, the right mentality to put on when they really need to win. Sunshine Stars Rivers United is going to be a very interesting fixture. For some reason, if you take a look at that Group B table during their bridge season, there's no way you would have given Sunshine Stars a chance. First stanza wasn't so good for them, but in the second stanza, away wins here and there, I think 2 or 3, made sure that they bring their confidence back. And just when we thought that Doma United can do something different, Sunshine Stars emerged. And this is a traditional team in the NPFL. So now at this level, at this Super 6 level, everybody, that's why it's difficult for me to talk about oddity now here, because everyone is equal and they have their eyes on one objective, and that's to win the trophy and become champions of the NPFL. So that's going to be an interesting fixture. We know Rivers United, the pedigree they have, they're defending champions. They've got continental experience also, fantastic players here and there. Stanley Guma, who knows the team in and out. So we'll see. Important test also for Sunshine Stars. Bendel Insurance versus Lobby Stars should really get us talking also. They went unbeaten all season. The state government doing everything to keep them empowered. They're in the final of the Federation Cup. This team led by Coach Monday Odige, they've shown us what it means to believe in oneself. Came into the league. First stanza, out of 9 matches, they won 7, drew 2. Second stanza, they won just 1, but no problem because they have done all the work in the first stanza, and now we're here. They topped the Group A table. Lobby Stars at some point were leading that Group B table because of Rivers United engagement on the continent. But when Rivers United came out, they said, give us our mantle, and then they took over. But Lobby Stars, they've shown good character this season. They've shown quality. Remember where they're coming from. Last season, they picked themselves back up, and they're showing us some good level of football this season.
Yeah.
So that's about it for day one. I just want to first see what we can get out of day one, and then that will inform our analysis for day 2. But this is going to be interesting, the Super 6,
I agree with you. And for our viewers, we were able to show you pictures from the draw ceremony that pitted the teams against themselves. Of course, there were stakeholders at that event. They had a few words to say. Let's listen to some of them. We'll come back and, of course, continue with our analysis on the Super 6 and the feast of football that we are yet to behold on the domestic scene, talking about the Super 6. But first, let's take some reactions. We'll come back for more. We'll sponsor tonight.
Yeah, it has been very tough for us, We played a lot of games this season, playing the CAF competition and also coming here to play. Yeah, we know that the issue of fatigue is there, but I think we have dusted over that one, and we're looking forward to a better performance in the Super C, this championship, and hoping that we'll be able to defend our title.
Lucky enough, we've played Remo twice this season, so this is going to be the 3rd time we're playing them. So it's going to be an open game. We know their strength and their weaknesses. They too know what we are capable of and what we are not capable of. So it's going to be interesting, Officiating will be good. So hopefully it's the boys that will get the job done. We coaches, we've done all we know how to do. So the players have to go there and show what they are capable of.
Truly, we are underdogs, no doubt about it. And imagine we are playing our first match against one of the biggest in the country, if not the biggest. For me, the biggest, based on their culture, their existence, their record, their achievements. But that doesn't hold water with me. What is most important for us is to go there with a lot of confidence and, we give them respect, but we are not going to be afraid of them. We have this superiority over them in the proper league. We won them at home. They forced us to a draw in Enyimba. And trust me, this is the confidence we draw and go to face them tomorrow. For sure, we're going to go and compete.
There's no pressure. There are 6 teams here, and all the 6 teams are here. For now, we are the best 6 teams. So we're looking forward. So we're not picking on anybody. So we can take on anybody because that's why we're here. So I'm happy with the draw. Lobby versus Insurance, I'm quite happy with it because they were in Group A, we were in Group B. And people have been saying our group is easy. It's not as strong as that one. So I'm very happy that we'll be playing them first so that people will see what Lobby is made of.
For the games to be live on TV, for us to have the best 6 teams in the league. Before now, we are playing in Gombe, Yo, in Benin, scattered all over the place. Fans were denied the best. Fantastic goals along the way. But now we have brought 6 of the best teams in one venue. Fireworks, competitiveness, showcasing of Nigerian football. The referees have an opportunity of getting back to the continent because they have not been so rosy. Our teams, whoever wins, will know that it's a worthy winner of the league. That is what we are expecting. And I have that responsibility to make it happen.
All right, that's it. So a cross-section of players, administrators, coaches, all speaking their mind, and the tiny thread that runs through all of it is excitement. Everybody's excited. On this side, we are excited as well. And Austin, I can only agree with you that we have to wait to see what happens on day one before we begin to have an idea of what's likely going to happen. But I'll take it a step further and say, maybe the experienced campaigners, just like you said, and Shegun said too, the experienced campaigners, because they've been here before, might have a slight edge.
Yeah, they will, but I mean, this is a competition where if you lose a game or don't start well, you start struggling, you know, and you could see a lot of mind games already going on. Coach Daniel of Remo Stars, for instance, already giving himself and his team the underdog tags. Nobody has said you guys are underdogs. If you can take 4 points from Aimba during the average season, then Aimba will not come into that game, you know, and thinking that you guys are underdogs. Remo has really improved as a team. The players are playing so well. The management, they're doing their parts. Coach Daniel has also improved, has also improved so well as a coach. So I think it's going to be competitive all round. I love the fact that it's going to be on TV also. And Coach Finidi George, you can see how he stylishly said officiating will be good. That's his own way of calling out the referees to say behave, you know, so we can see beautiful football. So yeah, all in all, I like the preparations. We're just waiting for the action to get on. So let the games begin.
All right, let the games begin. And I'm very sure you want to feel the pulse of our man in the studio, and probably maybe he's in sync with us. I'll just let you fire something across to Shegun Vincent.
Nice. I listened to Shegun Vincent, and he's well informed about what's going on. But Shegun Vincent, if you're to pick a surprise team out of this Super Six, what team are you going for?
This is a difficult one. This is a difficult one. I want to go for Bender Insurance. You cannot take them out from the mix. They have been tremendous, and no matter even the bookies wouldn't have put them for up the show for them to perform this wonderful this season. And I feel like anybody that sleeps on them sleeps on fire. You cannot underrate such a side that went unbeaten. As I can remember last time, the team did unbeaten the NPFL. And I'm looking at, of course, every season, the season becomes more difficult because we're having more clubs coming in. We're having teams also getting more funding, because which is one of the issues we discussed in the time past as regards funding, then, you know, players getting inside this and this. Well, that's a story for another day. But I feel like this is a side that they know their onions, they know what to do. They've had strong mentality, because in some of the draws that they came, like I said earlier on, that they have to come back from. Sometimes they go down or two goes down. That it shows strong mentality, strong concentration and consistency. The triple C, you know, and this is what a football side needs. You know, especially when you're talking about the log, because you cannot afford to lose your concentration, lose your mind. They are able to rally around their players, rally around to get the results. And this is what we need in a crunch time like this, you know. And like there's one school once said that Champions League are never on league net. So also the Super Six from the league, the NPFL itself. So I feel like this level of entertainment that they've done in the league will transfer into the Super Six. You cannot take that away, that they're not going to go down, even if they won't win or they won't go far, but they're going to definitely pick up a point from the two games. That is a sure banker, that they're going to be able to pick up a point from the two games, which is something that I believe that with this, I hope that they're able to consolidate this up to next season when the NPFL season returns after the Super Six winner has been declared.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I don't know. Let's just run through the two fixtures so our viewers can, you know, have an understanding of what will happen right after day one. And it's so important for some of these teams, after playing themselves on day one, to start looking forward to day two. So day two, it will flip. Lobby Stars will take on Aimba. Rivers United will take on Remo Stars. That's a very, very crunch encounter. I can't wait to also see that one, while Bendel Insurance will take on Sunshine Stars. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I just want to see this competition in a whole lot of ways. I think we've said good things about the NPFL this season, and this will be the crowning glory. So let's see if they can do the right thing. So confirmation of those day two fixtures for you.
Yeah, so that's it. Fixtures for day 2. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that, we're still together in the house, and of course together we'll be talking about the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. We'll also be talking about what's going to happen tomorrow, the battle of Manchester that will not take place in Manchester. You have 2 Manchester teams, Manchester City and Manchester United, fighting, and of course on offer is the FA Cup, and of course standing in the way of Manchester City's treble is Manchester United. Let's go on the break. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight. All right, so welcome back. Of course, we go straight now to Argentina and talk about the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. And Shegun, let me quickly get your opinion on this. I'm not talking about the game first. A lot of people have complained, and maybe Austin too. I'll get his views. A lot of people have complained about the pitches, the quality of the playing tough. I don't know if you have issues with what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people are saying
like 2 or 3,
a country like Argentina.
They have better stadia. I don't know, maybe there's something they're not telling us, or
is it because the time was too short and
probably it is or something? Maybe something I can't give you a specific answer, because I don't have all the
facts
or information. But the pitch has been a bit funny, or so. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the under competition or whatever, or maybe because I can't really give a specific answer for that. It has not been the pitches have been a bit. People have complained about it. I saw some of the complaints, but I really don't know. I can't give a specific answer as against that.
But are you disappointed? A country with the pedigree of Argentina.
Argentina is still a third world country, whether like it or not. As funny as that sounds, or something, I know it's controversial, but it's still a third world country because they also have areas they need to work on. Although they are a football firehouse, they have one of the best stadia in the world. I beg your pardon. One of the best stadia in the world. But I do believe, I want to think that with the level of football level, the footballing level they have, both at the national level and the grassroots level, they should do better because when it comes to talent level, coaches, they have one of the best coaches in the world. They have, they have one of the best coaches in the world, and of course, coaching system. They have a lot of great coaches that have come past Pochettino, Gaffada with them.
They should be doing better.
They should be doing better, but I really believe they should be doing better with what they have.
All right, let me go to Austin. Austin, you have to chip in. I know we weren't planning to talk about this, but I mean, the quality of the pitches you've seen. If it was Africa, I'm very sure the Western media will go crazy about the playing tough. And so, first, are you disappointed, or are you cutting them slack because you gave these guys maybe less than 6 months?
Yeah, I'm not cutting slacks, but holding FIFA responsible. Like you can't drop the balls. It's all about standards. So I'm putting all the blames on FIFA. I remember the game between Nigeria and Italy, Brazil. Yeah, the Plata Stadium. It was such a mess. The ball couldn't move properly in the middle of the park. It seemed like it was even a bit wet. And sometimes what I look forward to in terms of maintenance at every match venue, if I don't see the sprinkler system at halftime, I want to see groundsmen on the pitch, trying to make sure
across.
That the playing surface is good enough when action resumes. And I wasn't even seeing that on that day. So I wonder what FIFA looked at to give this competition to Argentina. And even if you're trying to do the fire brigade approach because of everything that happened with Indonesia, I expected FIFA to ensure proper quality control, manage the risk. What are some of the things that people can jump at to say, that this is not a well-prepared tournament, or FIFA just dumped the tournament on Argentina? Preempt those sort of conversations and find ways. I also say that PR doesn't solve problems, it avoids problems, so all of this is on FIFA. I don't know what they were thinking. They did a great job with the Qatar World Cup, and the next competition we're seeing is this. They must do a super job with the FIFA Women's World Cup, or we will come for them big time.
All right, we will. Also, let's go to the pitch now, proper, and take a look at the games. All right, I'm very sure our viewers want to know what's going to happen tomorrow and Sunday. So there you have it on your screen. Let's start with Saturday. Israel will be up against, I like to call them the Junior Seleção, that's Brazil's team. And Colombia will be up against Italy. These matches will be played Saturday, tomorrow. And, of course, our hearts and mind will be with the Flying Eagles on Sunday. They'll be up against South Korea. And the United States will be up against Uruguay. So these are the fixtures, of course, for the quarterfinals. And also, let's have this discussion. You know where I stand with this Flying Eagles, but in spite of everything I've said, I'm a Nigerian, and everyone loves victory. Everyone loves victories. But before we get into all of this, let's just take some reactions quickly and listen to some key stakeholders, and of course, we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
For the first time, at least, I've seen a coach very relaxed. That tells me somehow that they've done their homework. And there in Argentina, they've been there for quite a while, even more than any other team than the host. So now at least they should carry the feather of the host to go all out. But they have to watch it against the South Koreans. They are very fast. They stick to their game plan. And you need to concentrate all round. It's a quarterfinal. And I think the boys know what is at stake. Having beaten the host, they cannot sacrifice that triumph by losing to South Korea. But at this level, the joy of it is seeing these players show what they have and how they can get to be recognized. So they should just enjoy their game, don't get into any pressure. I don't think they will give them anything extra. It's for them to play to their utmost and show exactly why some of us think that players who have grown from the local scene can aspire to be in the national team. So their play must be aspirational. Their play must also reflect the dynamics of Nigerian football. Being aggressive, being smart. And I think if they carry their physicality against the South Koreans, they can have the edge.
As we speak, they are in the quarterfinals. We thank God for the fact that the coach was able to, pick his acts together, and ensure that after the match against Italy and Brazil, it came beyond, it was beyond my expectation. They defeated Argentina, that is the host. I think that is a boost. It's a big confidence to the team. They will go up to the finals. To beat the host country, it's no joke. I think that will assist them a lot to play in the final. And they are showing a lot of confidence, in the last game. So, and the Nigerian team, they get better, when the competition is going.
All right, well-respected journalists, well-respected voices in Nigerian football, on the football scene, giving their views on the Flying Eagles. Also, you were about to make a point with regards to what should be done against South Korea. But pardon me and Shegun, we're having a funny conversation about the difference between a side who wins and a good team. And he was trying to emphasize that you could actually win without being a good team. But that's a discussion for another day. But I just wanted that to factor into whatever you're going to say. What do you think we should do?
And no matter the conversation you guys have, it's not going to do anything to the level of optimism that I always display when Nigeria is playing, and you cannot blame me. But I want to go with the Grandmaster, Michel Obi, what he said. It made a very vital comment. He said they need to, keep their concentration and prove that we have talent at that level that can make it up to the national team. At this level of the competition, that's what those youngsters need to prove. Very, very strong message. I think Coach Ladan Boso should say that to them also. Let them also understand that at this level, criticism is not condemnation. Now, let's take a look at South Korea and their journey to the quarterfinal. The Koreans kept getting better. They started by playing 0-0 against Gambia. They went on to beat France 2-1. France happened to be the weakest team in their group. They beat France, and then they played 2-2 with Honduras. Against Ecuador in the round of 16, they won 3-2. Now look at the way they were making progress, okay? But the Flying Eagles won their first game, won their second game, and irrespective of what people say that it didn't matter the way they went on to win it, I say it does, because Italy had the momentum. They had beaten the favorites, Brazil. So Italy had the momentum, and then the Flying Eagles coming out of a shaky start against Dominican Republic gave us that sort of performance and went on to win. I still stand my ground that they were unfortunate against Brazil, and against Argentina, they showed guts. They kept themselves together. They played with a unity of purpose, and they beat the host and six-time world champion and send them out of the competition. Now that's momentum. They need to build on it. They need to keep their confidence. Against Korea, play as a team, avoid errors. I keep saying it, that whatever Nigeria plays, each time we don't do well is because we just throw caution to the winds. If they can avoid errors, the same thing against Brazil. Those 2 goals, errors. So if they can avoid errors against South Korea, carry the momentum, the same style of play. I need to see these guys now kill their individualistic displays and play more as a team. It was just when they played as a team in the second half that they killed off that game against Argentina. So I want to see more of that, Yemi. And look, like never before, if I could come here and I was so confident that football can happen and a Nigerian would lose against Argentina, what sort of analysis do you want me to give tonight?
Right. You've done
Korea.
You've done that already, and your optimism is infectious. We'll see. All right. Let me allow Segun just say a word, and we have to move on. But quickly, a word. Nigeria, South Korea. What do you expect? Quickly as you can.
We defeated them twice in 2003 and 2005. We beat them 1-0 and 2-1 respectively. So I believe that we have a good record playing against them. The shocker of the tournament was us defeating Argentina by 2-0. They didn't score any goal. This is a renowned team. Although we had our boogie team with Brazil, they just seem to always like us. You know, there's a certain word I'm not to use, but don't worry. But and I feel like it's a winnable game for us.
All right, it's a winnable game, and that's where Segun wants to put it. All right, let's spend a few minutes we have left on the show to talk about the big one tomorrow, the most glamorous cup competition in the world. You know, bar the Champions League. Bar the Champions League, because you have to say that. That's the English FA Cup, and it's up next. And, of course, the details right there on your screen. 2 teams from Manchester battling it out for that trophy. Manchester City up against Manchester United. And, of course, the game will be played tomorrow. Both teams, of course, want this badly. They want this badly. Let's listen to the manager of Manchester City, and, of course, followed by the manager of Manchester United. Of course, you're talking about Eric Ten Hag and Pep Guardiola. Let's listen to both managers. We'll come back to wrap things up on the show.
It's how you perform individually as a team, and all the details during these 95 minutes. The final is that it's not important. So we have done in the past or years ago with one game. In the Premier League, we were better than them. Not this season, so many years. So but one game is one game. So have to do our best version to be our best to beat them. The question is what the Manchester are doing in the last 4, 5, 6 months. It's completely different team like we faced in the beginning of the season when we beat them here. The play, they were a little bit much better when we played there and we lost, but we played really, I think we played good to don't be defeated, but it's football. And now had the feeling that the team since the beginning of the season now improved. That is a reality. They have a patterns more clear, and the quality they have is united. It depends on the players. Yeah, sometimes practice, sometimes on, even during the year. But yes, at a point you have to pay attention because, as you said perfectly, the finals. Lately, there are many, arrive in extra times and arrive to the penalties moment. So, it's an aspect you have to try to control. But I would think in this kind of situation, penalties, how this is the most important skill, the mentality, have you know. Before the penalty, there's 2 options. I'm going to hit the penalty, said I'm going to score. I'm going to hit the penalty, said I'm not going to score. That makes a difference if you're going to score the penalty or not. So this is how to work here. And if you are say, okay, I'm going to decide to put a right, left, or Panenka, or whatever decision, but fully commit, I'm going to do this penalty. You have a big percentage, to score a goal.
We want to win. We want to win a cup, and it's not about stopping them. It is about that we win a cup. We have a great opportunity. That is very good when you see where we came from, and then you see the development, the progress of the team, and then you are in a tough league as the Premier League. You are third, and you're winning the League Cup, and you are in the final of the FA Cup. I think then. You can be happy with the season, but also I know after summer we start again, and we start on zero.
All right, that's it. It's going to be our party shot on the show, but let me go to Shegun quickly. Few seconds. A lot of things we talked about that we don't have the chance to say it on TV. But what's going to happen tomorrow? Quickly as you can.
We're going to have a cracker. We're going to have a wonderful game. We're going to have a free-flowing game. They're going to have Man U are trying to disrupt. They don't want Pep to spoil their record, tarnish their record. And I remember one time the journalist asked Pep that does this treble, does it give him a legacy? He told him he has a legacy already. So the man told you he's already ahead of what people want to say. I believe that Manchester are going to win that game tomorrow. I believe that Man U is going to give a fight. Man U don't want it to be an easy. It's a counter, but let's say I pans out for the game.
All right, let's see how it pans out. All right, let me go to Austin for his parting shot. But let me say this: you accused me of putting people on the spot and not saying things myself. I think Manchester City are going to win tomorrow. It's not a matter of if. I think the question is by how many goals. So I'm sticking out my neck. I'm going with City all the way. But your parting shot and your thoughts on the game.
But you might be just wrong, Yemi, because this one is... Look, whenever these two teams meet, sparks fly. And surprisingly, this is the first Manchester final in the competition's history. Can you believe that? They've never met in the final of the FA Cup. So there's so much in this. And the fans are saying that if Pep Guardiola and Manchester City beat Manchester United tomorrow, that it will, boost their confidence to win the Champions League, and then they'll win the treble, and Manchester United will not see themselves as kings of Manchester. On the organizing side, the London Metropolitan Police, they've categorized this game as high risk. That's why we're having early kickoff. Now you see, the fans are pumped up, everyone. Football will give us a winner tomorrow, and Manchester, at the end of the day, the city of Manchester will be the winner because football separates these two sides. So you have said Manchester City will win. Shegun Vincent said Manchester City will win. I'll say football will give us the winner. That's how safe I can stay on this one. But I know we're going to have good football. So that's the show in London. I'm Austin Okorakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, and that's the show tonight. I want to thank Shegun for his time on the show. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and so we got to go. Of course, enjoy your weekend. You see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.